Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Nal. This is a final prediction video for the big heavyweight fight taking place tonight in Saudi Arabia. Not the main event. We have done a final predictions video for Joshua versus Ngannou. Please do check that out on the channel when you get the chance. This is a different prediction video for Zhilei Zhang versus Joseph Parker. Arguably a more interesting fight than the main event. And yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm actually kind of probably looking forward to this one than the main event, if I'm honest. As a group at ESBR, we're pretty much split 50-50. We've had the weigh-in now. We've had the fight week build up. You've had plenty of time to think about what your final prediction is going to be. I know you took part in our big fight breakdown video as well. I will hand over to you now. How do you see this one with only a few hours to go?
Just before we jump into predictions, I'll echo everything you said there. No disrespect to Joshua and Ngannou, I'm looking forward to that as well. But this is the main event of the night for me. It's just so intriguing. It really is. It's a fascinating clash of styles and so much at stake for both men. So this is the fight on the card I'm most looking forward to. Same as yourself, I have to say. It's so fascinating. In terms of how I think the fight's going to go, I've been struggling to call this one. As you mentioned, the big fight breakdown we're doing, I struggle to call it. It's split. What one man has the edge in, the other will do better. Zhang has the power edge of power, probably a better boxer. Parker be quicker than Zhang, more durable maybe, stuff like that. So if they're both riding a massive wave of momentum too. Zhang beat Joe Joyce twice, Parker beat Wilder, so they're both on the riding the absolute crest of a wave. So to jump into a prediction on how this fight's gonna go, again, I'm not trying to be controversial here when I say this, but I've said it since the start. I said it in the breakdown video, I said it in the weigh-in reaction. I'm going for a draw here. I'm going for a draw. I can't separate them. I really can't. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna pick one side for the sake of it. If I can't split them, I'm gonna call a draw. As I say, there's too many variables in this for me, and what one fighter does well, the other fighter makes up for it in a different aspect. So yeah, I'm calling the draw. Whether I'm confident enough to put money on it, that's a different thing. But
yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, I just can't split it. So yeah, I'll say a draw on this one.
Yeah, look, interesting. Thing is, I do laugh, but at the same time, look, that is a genuine prediction, and it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It is a really tough one. I'm just getting kind of latest odds up. For those that are interested, Zhang 4-9 to win, 10-11 to get to win by stoppage. So Zhang's obviously got a lot of power that we saw in the Joyce fights. 4-1 to win by decision. 15 Parker is 15-8 to win, 5-1 to win by stoppage, Joseph Parker, and 7-2 to win by decision. 16-1 odds for the draw now. What when now that I've read out those odds, if you had to go for something that wasn't the draw, not from a prediction standpoint, just from more of like a value, I think this has got a chance of happening standpoint. What appeals to you there? Obviously, 10-11 for Zhang to win by stoppage is where the bookies' money is at. 5-1 for Parker to win by stoppage. We know Zhang kind of is maybe going to struggle in the second half of the fight. Where's your mind at? If you had to put your five euros on something there, where's your head at?
If I had to pick a winner, I'd edge Parker. If I had to go with a winner, I'd edge Parker points. As you mentioned, I think he'd finish stronger than Zhang. I'd fully expect Zhang to outbox him early. Be honest, keep him at range and outbox him with his superior IQ here. To kind of pick Parker off as he tries to get in our range. And then it's the gas tank, the engine of Zhang. Will it hold up? I doubt it'll hold up to live with Parker's kind of durability in his engine. So I think Parker will come on really strong. Maybe even maybe even drop Zhang down the stretch. That might swing a decision his way. But if I had to edge it, I'd edge it to Parker very slightly on points for me. But again, nothing would surprise me in this, whether it was Zhang points or a Zhang KO. But if I had to side one way or the
Yeah,
other,
yeah, yeah.
aside from the draw, I'd go Parker points for me.
And just to confirm, this is not me kind of forcing you to predict
No.
these guys is going to win. It's kind of what appeals to you from the betting perspective. I think it's what's tricky about this one is they're both coming off impressive victories, and when someone's coming up with such an impressive victory, it's hard to look at them and say, I think you're going to lose. So it is a really tricky one. I've kind of I've mostly been Zhang, and then I went through a period when I kind of just worried about Zhang's age, to be honest. Like he's not a young fighter. I know he's not kind of been in too many wars. He's only got the one loss in his defeat, which arguably he shouldn't have lost. But the guy is in his 40s now, whereas Parker, I think, is 32, I'm gonna say. Still young for a heavyweight. So I'm still gonna pick Zhang for this fight, but I'm not saying it with too much confidence. One, because of the age factor. Two, I just feel like if I'm Joseph Parker, get yourself to the second half of the fight and put pressure on him. I will still say to this day, in the first fight, if Joyce hadn't suffered that horrific injury and got to round 8, round 9, I do think the tables possibly could have turned. However,
Yeah.
it didn't happen, and the second fight ended even earlier in more emphatic fashion. So I'm going for Zhang, but I'm not here saying I'm super confident. Um, but yeah, I just think Zhang is a much bigger man than Parker. I do consider Zhang to be one of the biggest punchers in the division. He's got an unorthodox style. He kind of throws punches from awkward angles. I think he's deceptively quick, actually, in my opinion. So I'm going for Zhang to win this fight by stoppage, and I'll go round 5 or 6.
Okay, okay. The stoppage shout was
Yeah,
interesting. To be honest, I thought you were going to say Shang points, but it'd be really a real statement if we stop Parker in 5 or 6. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's an interesting shout, definitely.
My bit of a wild question to finish off with, Niall. Obviously, the thing is, look, if this draw does happen, you're going to look like a genius, and you can probably set up your own boxing channel and leave ESPR. To be honest, if you do think we see a draw, do you then think we'll see a rematch? Do you think that obviously Zhang's supposed to be in a pretty good position with the WBO still? So he might possibly fight for a vacant title in his next fight. What do you think would happen if we do see this draw?
I think it definitely would be a rematch. Like I think that'd be the logical step. Like I know it's unlikely, the draw is very unlikely, I know, but I think with the way the division is at the minute as well, with Fury and Usyk, they're tied down for 2 fights. There's a rematch clause there, so the belts are very tied up that I can't see Parker or Zhang getting a shot for another while anyway. And I would hate to see Zhang kind of wait around at his age for a shot that probably won't come for the next year or so, year or 18 months.
Yeah,
He's in his 40s now, so he has no time to wait. So if it did go to a draw, I'd love to see it do it again. But even if it was a close fight either way, which I think if there will be a winner, it will be a razor tight fight. So I'd be happy to see a rematch as well with whoever wins if it was close, unless the styles just don't gel and
yeah.
it's a real snooze fest. So yeah, I think a rematch is every possibility here, to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah. Look, many things could happen. We shall see. Niall, appreciate your time, appreciate the prediction, and we'll see. I'm really excited for this one. It's one of the best heavyweight fights
yeah,
we're going to see this year, I think. Two genuine top 10, arguably top 5 heavyweights going at it with yeah, if there is a winner, a kind of a big, possibly a world title shot in the next few months. Niall, thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you again soon.